I had her phone and I seen that she sent a picture of me to this random number. So I was like, why the, and it was like an intimate picture. It was like a, a penny and bra or whatever. She was like, I sent it to this guy or whatever like that. And he sometimes like give me money or whatever. So I'm like, I was asking her what was going on with you and him because it's not adding up. And then she ended up seeing that she lets him give her brain. If you know what I mean, you know what I'm talking about. And he just would give her money for it. So I was like, you got all this stuff going on. She was like, okay, I'll tell you the truth. I got to tell you the truth. Tell me. You won't say anything. So I'm like, what? So she keep like being dramatic, whatever. So she ended up telling me like, I don't have epilepsy for real. I be faking seizures. So I literally stopped in my tracks. She fell out in front of me to have a seizure, and she told me to tell her mom to come back there, and she gonna show me how she do it.
Welcome back to another episode of Clocked Out Conversations. I'm your host, Fahim, and today we got some more TikTok content. Storytime on how I dated a stud for 2 years who faked epilepsy. I'm not here to waste your time. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and let's get into it.
Okay, y'all. Story time on how I dated this stud for 2 years that faked epilepsy. So, this was some years ago or whatever like that. We had met each other at a party. So, we started dating. So, it was a time that I had to be at home. So, I stayed on a whole different part of town of Chicago than where she stayed. So, she'll take the train with me until I at least get halfway home. It was like I think her cousin or something like that. So we're on the train and we going back. Now, she already expressed to me that she didn't want me to go home. So I'm like, okay, it's cute. We just gonna miss each other, but I see you when I see you type of thing or whatever. Because we was always with each other, but I had to go home. So I'm on my way home. I'm about to get ready to get off the train, literally right before my stop. She falls out on the train and she starts having a seizure. Now, I need not remind you, I never knew that she even had epilepsy. So this is my first time like witnessing her having a seizure and even finding out that she has seizures. So I like stayed with her. I'm like, damn, now I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm like, I can't go home because she having a seizure. I feel bad. Even though she was like with her family, I'm like, I feel bad. So I end up going back to her house with her. So we go back to her house. She's like having seizures all night. So then she started doing better or whatever, maybe for about, let's say maybe a week or two, maybe about a week or two, almost a month. So now I'm at her house and I'm learning about like seizures, like, what happens when you have a seizure, what should you do, how long they're spaced out, when they zone out, like, just rub them gently or whatever like that until they come to, because I'm like, damn, this is something like very serious. So she started having more seizures. She ends up in the hospital, y'all. Need I remind you, we only been dating at this point for probably like 2 months. She's in the hospital for about 2 or 3 months.
I'm wondering, why didn't you take her to the hospital as soon as she had that seizure the first time? you just took her home? Okay.
They have her in like an intensive care unit. They have her like with padding all over the bed, so that she can't fall if she have a seizure. She has so many like things hooked up to like her brain, so many IVs, so many medicine going in and out all day. Now, when she was in the hospital for 2 or 3 months, she barely talked like that. She, for the most part, was either asleep or like zoned out. Like, I'm telling you, she played this shit really well. She did a really good job because I would have never, ever imagined, like, I'm real silly. So if I'm faking something, I'm going to start laughing and smiling. She never broke character, y'all. In the hospital 2 or 3 months. I'm coming up there every day. I'm getting into it with my damn family and everything because I'm trying to be out here and be supportive and be here for her. So there was moments where I noticed, like, even when her family leaves, she would talk to me. So I was like, I never thought nothing of this until now that I'm reflecting back. So like she'll talk to me or whatever. So I'm like, okay. She ends up getting out the hospital. When she got out the hospital, it was just some strange stuff going on. I want to say like maybe a month later. I had her phone and I seen that she sent a picture of me to this random number. So I was like, why the, and it was like an intimate picture. It was like a penny and bra or whatever, but my face wasn't in it. So I was like, who is she sending this number to? So, back then there was no Cash App, none of that you could put the number in and find out who it is. The only thing that I used to use back then was being verified. So I put the number in being verified. Nothing comes up because it's a prepaid phone. So I'm like, this is strange. So I end up confronting her about it, like, who the hell you sending my picture to? You know, this is weird, or whatever like that. She was just like, oh, it's nobody, whatever like that. I sent it to this guy. Yes, y'all, a guy. She was like, I sent it to this guy or whatever like that, and he sometimes like give me money or whatever. So I'm like, that don't even make sense. So we're going to call her Brush, and we're going to call the guy Comb. So she was like, yeah, Comb will give me money sometimes, whatever like that. Now, need I remind you, we're like under 20. Comb is like 50, 60. Okay. So I was like, okay. We end up getting into it. I forgave her, whatever. Boom. Okay, y'all.
You forgave her and she was sending your intimate pictures to a grown man, a 50 or 60-year-old? And you forgave her? Oh my God, you're trifling. Come on.
I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, this is part 2 on me dating and stuff for 2 years, and she faked like she had epilepsy. So just a few things that I want to piggyback on, because people in the comments want to know a few things. One, I have to speed y'all up. The reason that I have to mention Comb is because Comb is the main reason why I end up finding everything out. It was like the big puzzle piece to the whole puzzle. A lot of people also wanted to know, did her family know? They did not know, y'all. They were so oblivious to the fact of what was going on, just like me. It got so deep to the fact that we all at the hospital, grandma got people on the prayer line, grandma up there praying, everybody praying, auntie praying, everybody like, this is very, very serious. And also they don't know where it came from, because nobody in the family have a history of it. So that family, they wasn't in on it. They didn't know what was going on. Feel free to ask more questions in this part 2 and part 1, because I'm only going to do 3 parts to this. This is part 2, and then part 3 will be posted tomorrow. And then after that, if y'all got questions, I'll do like a Q&A or whatever after part 3. Or I might just include that in part 3, because I don't want to drag this out. So back to the story. So now, she was in the hospital 2-3 months. She gets released or whatever. She comes home. So now she at home, everything was cool. So then I had seen something else. That's when I seen the stuff like in her phone again from Comb. So me and her are like arguing, we going back and forth. So she makes a comment like, you're stressing me out or whatever like that. And she literally falls out and start having a seizure, y'all. So I feel terrible. I like start crying really bad. I call my best friend. I'm like, hey, like she just had another seizure. She said I stressed her out. I feel terrible. She's like, is her mom and stuff there? I'm like, yeah. So I get off the phone with her. I run in the living room. I tell her mom, like, hey, she's having a seizure. Her mom was like, make sure she just laying on her left side.
I would have say I am not laughing at seizures. Seizures, geez, are a serious, issue that needs to be dealt with for people that experience them. I'm laughing at the fact that this woman is finessing her and is faking as if she is having seizures. That is insanity to me. Let's keep it going.
I'm like, okay. So I go back in the room. She's laying on her left side. So you know that when you have a seizure, it's like you're spaced out, like you're just staring or whatever. It takes a while for you to come to. So I go back in the room. She's laying on her left side. I'm like rubbing her shoulder, and I'm looking at her, y'all. She's dead ass on the floor like this. So I'm like, okay, it's taking a while. So then her mom ended up coming in there trying to make sure everything was okay. So she ended up being fine. 30 minutes later, we sitting there, we eating. I leave it alone. I don't even bring up nothing else about Comb, because now I feel bad that I'm the cause of this seizure that you just had. So I don't even want to fucking argue with this girl. I don't want to go back and forth. At this point, I don't even want to fucking go home, because I don't want nothing to trigger her having a seizure or whatever it is that she got going on. And need I remind you, I'm not knowing that the girl's fucking lying about seizures or faking, so that's not crossing my mind. So some of y'all like, oh yeah, you ain't know. We all been young before, y'all. We all been naive to and privy to some type of situation that was going on. So
we all been young, but I don't know if I was ever naive enough to allow my girlfriend to send pictures of me to some random person that's like dang near an elder. Come on now, let's keep going.
I want to say like a couple weeks, let's just say a month or whatever go by, and she only having seizures like every so often, and not a lot. I would say like in the course of that month, she may have had like 2 or 3. We're not really getting into it like that. We're fine. So now I start to see like some explicit messages or whatever in her phone from the same number from Comb. So I was like, what's going on? Like, why is he sending you messages like this? She was like, oh no, it's not that. And she was just like, he just sent me those type of messages when he wants me to bring him product. Now, one thing I can say about this girl, she was a hustler. She was about getting money all the time. So I was like, what product? So she goes to tell me that she gives him her pills that prescribed to her from the neurologist and everything. She said she's giving him the pills to sell. They were like these little tablets, and it was a lot of them that came in this big bottle. It was a lot of them. And I want to say there was like small orange. Yeah, they were like, I don't know if they was orange or white. I know there was small circle tablets, and it was a lot that came in the bottle. She was like, yeah, I give him these. He sent me stuff like that to like not make it obvious. I give him these pills, and he sell the pills for me for like $10 a pill. So I go down there with her, and I see her give him the pill, so I'm not thinking nothing of it. Whole time, she's 2 steps ahead of me. She didn't probably already told him, like, I got to do this in front of her, so she won't think anything or whatever like that. And when I tell y'all the story about that situation unfolding, everything's going to make sense. Y'all going to be like, what the fuck? So I give her the, she give him the pills or whatever like that. We get back to the house. So I'm a little skeptical about the situation. So I would say like maybe a week or a few days passed by. So I was like, why are you giving him the pills? And what about you and your seizures? She was like, I'm fine. You know, I ain't been having seizures or whatever like that. She was like, but she was like, I know if I take, she had it all figured out. She was like, if I take like a pill this day, I ain't got to take it the next few days and stuff. And I'm fine. You know, usually they give me a prescription. I can say I lost it. They'll refill it. She had it all figured out, y'all. So I'm not thinking like, if you ain't thinking a person lying, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. I said, I still think that you should have your pills because you was just in the hospital. She said everything was all good. Everything was all fine. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm about to get into, I'm going to wrap up part 2. But part 3 will literally be her family finding out everything and the fact of what the hospital knew the entire time that none of us even knew about, y'all. The hospital was put on game really, really early. But I'm going to tell y'all what happened with her family finding out, her mom, me being right there when her mom came out about it, her telling me, everything, and like when it all just like unfold, and it's all unfold only because of what I found leading from Comb. So this was part 2. I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap this up. Part 3 will be posted tomorrow, and if y'all got questions, feel free to ask, and I'll do a Q&A and answer those questions too. But thank y'all for watching. Part 3 is literally coming like in the afternoon or probably in the morning sometime or whatever like that. It's crazy, y'all. Okay, y'all, so this is part 3 on me dating the stud for 2 years, and she faked like she had epilepsy. So the last part I left off at, I was saying like, you know, her and Comb and the messages and all of that stuff, and we was getting into it, and she was saying like she was giving Comb the pills to sell for her or whatever the case may be. Okay, so now let me talk, because I see a lot of people in the comments are asking questions in regards to the hospital. So when she was in the hospital for so long, we were at one hospital at one point. The doctors there was saying like basically it's nothing they can do for her. They don't understand what's going on with her. Her mom said that it was best that we go to a better hospital, which in Chicago, it is known to be like one of the greatest hospitals there. So we end up moving to, well, we end up going to a different hospital. They end up checking her in there. So yes, they got her hooked up and everything like that. I know a lot of people in the comments are saying like, oh, well, sometimes you cannot detect seizures and stuff like that, even if you hooked up. But here's the thing, y'all. I went through this. I experienced this, so I know for a fact that it was fake. So just let me finish those stories so we can get there. So I took notes too, so that I don't want to forget nothing. Okay, yeah. So she got switched to a different hospital now. So now we in this second hospital for a while. So like I said, the first hospital ended up seeing like they didn't see any like, you know, really it was nothing they could do to really help her. So her mom basically feel like it was all bullshit. So let's, you know, go to another hospital that's known for being better, whatever the case may be. So we end up going to a different hospital or whatever. Now at this time, like again, I'm not knowing that she's faking, you know, having this stuff. So I'm just sitting here just going with the flow like, oh my God, it got to be something serious, because how this doctor, this hospital is saying nothing is going on, but the whole time it got to be something, because she's, you know, she's keep having seizures or whatever. So we in the next hospital, right? Now, I wasn't there. I couldn't be there all day with her, of course. I was working at this time, and I also, had other stuff going on at this time. But when the times I did come, there were like a lot of doctors coming in to see her. They were trying to ask her certain questions or whatever like that, and sometimes she didn't respond. When I said she had an IV, the IV was probably, now that I'm reflecting back and I'm older, the IV was probably just pumping like just fluids. I don't know. Now, I do remember sometimes they gave her medicine. What the medicine was, I don't know. But that could be why she was like sometimes just zoned out, sleepy. I don't know. It actually made me look at healthcare a little bit different in certain situations or whatever. So there are a lot of doctors coming in. I mean, like a team. I think it was like the whole neurology department damn near came in. They was talking to her mom. They was talking to her. They kept taking her to go take tests and stuff like that. Weeks go by, we in the hospital, whatever like that. I remember at one point the doctors had came in the room, they were talking to her, and then it was like they wanted to talk to the mom outside the room. They go outside the room, they end up talking to the mom. They was out there for at least maybe probably 20 minutes. I don't know. They were talking to her out there. The mom came back in the room. I could tell that she was a little bit off put with whatever they told her. I don't know. But she ended up leaving, then I ended up staying there. She gets released from the hospital at this point, let's say like a week or two later. Maybe that same week she gets released from the hospital. We go back to her house. So now we at her house and I see something in her phone again from home. By this time, she's at the hospital. A few weeks has passed and it's like very sexual stuff. So he ended up, I'm pressing her about it. And I would say this, women, if y'all got a feeling about anything, don't feel bad. Because, like, at this point, I understand that you telling me that, you got epilepsy and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to act insensitive to it. But the stuff that I'm seeing in your phone, it just don't add up. So I started seeing the stuff in her phone or whatever from her and Comb. I'm posting this, and Power 4 is literally going up right behind it, y'all. All right, y'all. So this is part 4. This is going to be the final part to wrap it up. So then I'm seeing stuff in the phone or whatever from Comb. And it's like some real sexual stuff in there. So I'm like hounding her about it. I'm just keep asking her. So she's just like, well, stuff that didn't add up. And I hate to say it, but basically I was asking her what was going on with you and him because it's not adding up. And then she ended up saying that she lets him give her brain, if you know what I mean, you know what I'm talking about, and he just will give her money for it. Now at this time, need I remind you, this is my girlfriend, but we also call each other's best friends, so she telling me this stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever, cool. So I'm feeling some type of way. I'm like going off, I'm crying. I'm like, that's nasty, man. You was doing whatever and he's doing this or whatever like that. And she was just like, but I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. I was like, what? So and I was like, and then you got epilepsy, you got all this stuff going on. Like now I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting, stressed out. So I was like, you got all this stuff going on. She was like, okay, I'll tell you the truth. I got to tell you the truth. Tell me, you won't say anything. So I'm like, what? So she keep like being dramatic, whatever. So she ended up telling me like, I don't have epilepsy for real. I be faking seizures. So I literally stopped in my tracks. So I'm like, nah, you lying because you got to think about it. It's not making sense to me because I was with you when you had the seizure on the train. I was with you when you had other seizures. She was like, no, I'm for real. I was like, how are you faking it though? Like, because when I tell y'all, I know a lot of y'all left in the comments like, okay, she was staring straight. That was the truth. Like she never broke character at all. It was totally believable. So now let's go. Now let's fast forward back. So she never broke character or whatever. So I was like, no, it don't make sense. She was like, I'll show you. I said, okay. This girl fell out in front of me. She said, I'm going to have a seizure and then you go get my mama. She fell out in front of me to have a seizure and she told me to tell her mom to come back there and she going to show me how she do it. She fell out. She had a seizure. I went to tell her mom. Her mom came back there. Her mom made sure she was okay. I'm staring at her the whole time. She's laid out on the floor. She was shaking and everything. She started drooling. And she's laid out on the floor, just eyes like this. The entire, probably about 3-5 minutes long. So then she come to. She get up. Her mama leave out the room. We sitting there talking. So I'm just like, why would you do this and stuff like that? And she was just like, oh, she needed it to get the pills. Now, back then, I don't know what these pills did. Like I said, I don't know what the name of the pills was. I just know I believe they were small orange circular tablets, and it was a big bottle of them. Like, it was a lot. She says she did it to get the pills so that she can give to Comb, and he sells them, and he also takes them, and he know a lot of people that do drugs and stuff like that. That part still don't make sense to me. The fact of you and Comb's relationship is kind of off-putting because that was actually her father's maintenance man. Yeah. So yeah, that whole thing was crazy. So now let's scale back. I'm off put or whatever like that. And y'all ain't gonna lie. I was done for this shit. I was done. So we still talking. I'm still over there or whatever like that. Her and her mom gets into an argument. Her mom gets into an argument or whatever like that. And then her mom says, as I'm back there, her mom says, and you think I don't know what the fuck going on? You think I don't know what's going on? So I ain't knowing what she said. She was like, you think I don't know that you faked the motherfucking seizures? You got me going to different hospitals and motherfuckers are sitting up here telling me that they don't know what's wrong with my daughter and they think your ass is fucking slow because they don't see no brain activity with these seizures you having. We going to 2 different hospitals. We there this entire time. And I ain't gonna lie, the mama was vouching for her in the hospital. Her mama literally was going hard for her because they like, y'all got to see something because my daughters keep having these seizures. So now it's making sense to me. That's why when we went to the first hospital, they wasn't able to see anything. So the mom just thinking, which any mama would do for their daughter, fuck that. Let me go ahead. Let me take her to another hospital that's, a really great hospital in Chicago. Go to the other hospital. We there. Like I said, they had teams of people coming in there, monitoring this girl, taking her for tests and everything. So now it makes sense when that team of doctors came in and they took the mama outside to talk to her and they was out there for a while and the mom came back in the room and she looked a little bit off put and then she left. So I guess she just never, I don't know if the mama felt like she was just going to hold it off and never say anything, but they had gotten into a disagreement maybe like a month or 2 after that. And that's what she ended up saying. She was like, you think I don't know what the fuck is going on? And like your ass is fucking slow or whatever like that. And Brush really didn't have too much to say. Brush was just like, brushing it off. And from that day, she never had another seizure again. She never had another seizure again. She never felt like she had another seizure again. There were some more intimate things going on with her and Comb that I don't agree with, that I don't think is right. But hey, at this point, people gonna do what they do. But yeah, that's the story time of me dating a stud that faked epilepsy, and I think it's sick. And y'all was saying who pays the hospital bills. I believe at that time she probably had she may have had Medicaid or county care or something like that. They take care of the bills. So, and honestly, I don't think that was her concern at all. I think her main, it got to be sicker in the head. Maybe it was for attention. In her mind, it was for pills. I don't even know how you can look up all this information to figure out what you're going to do to get these pills, to sell them out on the street. I don't even know the side effects of these pills. I don't know what these pills called. But if anybody know what these pills are called, please feel free to drop it. But they're little orange, I believe they were orange or white little circle tablets that she was taking. And it was a really big bottle that was in them. But yeah, thank y'all for watching the story time. I will do a Q&A. Just leave whatever questions that you have, and I will be more than happy to answer them. Oh, another thing. A lot of people was just like, oh, what's her sign? She was a Scorpio. Everybody was saying, oh, she got to be a Sagittarius, Aquarius. No, she was a Scorpio. And I also seen that people was like, they dated people with this. This same thing happened to so many. I seen at least 15 comments that this same thing has happened to other people. And that alone is concerning. I thought I was the only person that went through something like this. But seeing that other people went through the same thing is insane. My heart goes out to people who are actually, battling this and going through something like this. I don't think nobody should lie about stuff like that. But that's my story, y'all.
So, what do you guys think about the story time? I think that this is absolutely disgusting. I think that it is absurd that you would sit up here and take advantage of people's heart like this. I think it's absurd that you would take advantage of her care for you, your mother's care for you, and the fact that you would waste their time being sent to a hospital and then being transferred to another hospital, all to get some pills for some 50 or 60-year-old man who turns out to be your father's, I think she said, maintenance man or something like that. That's crazy. Not to mention, you're sending explicit photos of her to that 50 or 60-year-old man without her consent whatsoever. That's criminal. Literally, that's criminal. That's criminal morally, and that's criminal legally. That is criminal. And I think it's disgusting that we have people out here like that who would take advantage and exploit such a serious condition and use it for their own personal gain. Personal, depraved, and wicked gain at that. And so, yeah, I'm glad that she got out of this situation that she was in. 2 years? Imagine being with somebody for 2 years who was faking seizures. Do you know how much of a psychopath you have to be to do something like that? That's the type of person that'll murder you in your sleep. Type of person that's sitting up here taking pills when they don't have to and faking seizures so accurately, so perfectly that your loved ones can't even determine that you're faking? That you have to be sent to hospitals? Man, that is crazy. Not to mention she got the whole family involved, her grandmas and all. But what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with me that that is absolutely disgusting behavior? And honestly, that woman, whoever she is, needs to be held accountable for it? Or do you guys disagree and think that you should just let bygones be bygones and that this is just a learning experience for her? But thank you for tuning into this Clocked Out Conversation. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.